Well, good evening, everyone. I appreciate everybody being here. I'm the least important person here, but I get to talk first. So my name is John Holloway. I'm a town chair for the town of Paris. We're here this evening to recognize and thank Ronald and Caden for their efforts involved with a automobile accident back on December 9th. And so I just want to introduce a few people that are here this evening with us. So we have County Executive Samantha Kirkman is with us. Have Assistant Paris Fire Chief Rich Perkins. We have Caden, we have Ronald, and our Fire Chief of the Town of Paris, Colin Hennessy, is here. We have Brian Bashaw, who is the County Board Supervisor that represents the Town of Paris and part of Summers and Brighton with us. And there will be other introductions as we go forward here. So my role here is to thank everybody for being here. We decided that too often people do remarkable things and we accept them as everyday occurrences, and they need to be recognized. We need to slow down sometimes and recognize when people do very special things. So the Town of Paris created what we're calling the Town of Paris Standing Ovation Award to be handed out to people who have done something truly over and above our daily taking care of each other. So at this time, I'd like to have Assistant Fire Chief Rich Perkins come up, and he will lead with the presentations. So thank you.
Good evening, everyone. It's really nice to see everybody here. It was 1 month ago, December 9th. Town of Paris was dispatched to a car fire. Lo and behold, when we arrived on scene, it wasn't just a car fire, but it was actually a car versus tree. It was a car accident which had a patient, which makes everything a little bit different than just a regular car fire. So as I got on scene, I noticed that the engine was no longer where it should be. It was in the front seat of the car. But there was no driver in the car at this time. But that was different because before I got there, the driver still was in the car while it was on fire. And it was a heroic act that night that saved this person's life, changed his life and that of his family. So we were able to find out where the patient was. There was just one patient, and then the deputies told me that there were two patients because of the acts of Ron going and getting involved and getting into the smoke of the fire. Took a little bit of smoke into his system, so we wanted to get him checked out as well. So now we ended up with two patients, but it was worth it, wasn't it? Because of what he did. So we're here tonight to recognize Ron and Caden. We should have recognized Mom too. She was there, she was directing traffic before I got there, and the husband and the son what to do, so leave it to Mom, always behind the men to do a job, right? So we don't want to forget her as well. So at this time, we would like to present Caden with an award. So maybe we can have our presenter come up and present him with an award for his acts in this. You can just stand right up here in front. In this act, because of what you guys did, the steps that your family took, saved a person's life.
Wait, could you guys pose?
And now we want to recognize Ron as well for what he did. He didn't have to do what he did, but he walked up to that car that was on fire into the smoke a few feet away and was able to pull this man to safety and save his life. So let's give Ron our applause as well. So like Chairman Holloway said, so many of these things happen. People go and risk their lives to save people. They didn't get recognized for it. But we felt this was something that was special because it changed a man's life and that of his family on December 9th, 1 month ago. So we want to thank you both, and Mom as well, Kristen, right? For everything you guys have done. We appreciate it. So at this time, we want to invite up our County Executive, Samantha Kirkman.
Thank you. And I'm actually going to call Brian up here too because he's part of the team that I get to work with. And Mom should come up here and stand behind because really Mom is a part of it as well. So can Mom come up here too? So So when, okay, so, you know, those random acts of kindness, how a random act of kindness can change the world and change somebody's life. And I know in my time, in my drive back and forth in my previous role to Madison, I came across many accidents where I did that thing. I called 911. I stopped to lend a hand. Never to the extent of this, more if somebody stopped on the side of the road, flat tire, car not working. But what you did 1 month ago obviously changed somebody else's life, and we might have had a different outcome if it wasn't for your heroism. And so on behalf of the county board and myself, we have recognitions for both Ron and Caden for their service and their dedication. Again, this is a lesson that you've learned at a very young age, and I hope that you will share this story with others because you've made a difference in somebody's life that have impacted so many more people. It's like the Kevin Bacon, the 6 degrees of separation, and you don't realize today, but in the future, the difference that you've made in other people's lives. So on behalf of Kenosha County, I have now the Kenosha County Hero Among Us commendation, presented by the county exec of Kenosha County, presented to Ronald Megs. Whereas on December 9th, 2022, Joint Service Dispatch, emergency report of a car fire at 1601 38th Street in the town of Paris. And whereas Bristol residents, Ronald, a passerby who happened upon the accident, did not hesitate to approach to the vehicle and assess the situation. And whereas when the driver was found to not be moving in an act of heroism, Ronald risked his life to get the door open and pull out the driver to safety. And whereas during the chaos of the scene, Ronald also relayed accurate information to his stepson, who was on the phone with Kenosha Joint Services. And whereas, according to the Paris Fire Chief, Colin Hennessy, Ronald's selfless action was critical to saving the man's life. And now, therefore, be it hereby resolved that Kenosha County Executive Samantha Kirkman does hereby present Ronald on behalf of the citizens of Kenosha County in recognition of appreciation of heroism given on this day, January of 2023. Signed, Samantha Kirkman. So again, thank you so much, Ronald. I also have a citation for Caden, whereas the Kenosha County Heroes Among Us citation by the county exec of Kenosha County, Wisconsin, presented to Caden Hanschel. Whereas on December 9th, 2022, Joint Services dispatched an emergency vehicle report of a car fire in the town of Paris. And whereas Bristol resident Caden was the caller who acted quickly on the scene to dial 911 on behalf of his mother. And whereas while on the phone with dispatchers, the Joint Services, Caden relayed accurate, important information about the scene and the condition of the driver being pulled from the vehicle. And whereas according to the Paris Fire Chief, Colin Hennessy, that Caden's actions were critical to saving the man's life. And now, therefore, be hereby resolved that Kenosha County Executive Samantha Kirkman does recognize Caden Hanschel on behalf of the citizens of Kenosha County in recognition and appreciation of his heroism given on this day. Samantha Kirkman. Thank you. So again, this is such a special day to recognize 2 people who went above and beyond the call of duty to help save somebody's life. And it's really a great honor for me to be here today to present you with those citations. So again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And because it is the Paris Standing Ovation Award, could we please give a standing ovation?
Did you bring our applications?
Yes.
Oh.
Floor application for you.
Thank you so much. Your son and everybody.
Not everybody steps up or steps in, right?
Right, exactly.
Now they do the dishes and the laundry.
Okay.